I was working at Nemco Motorsports, which is Joe Nemechek's shop, as a fabricator. I came up there and I just had bought a house and stuff, and Joe put me to work during the shop because the deal that I had was only for like 5 races. So you know, there was something I had to do in between time to still be able to eat. So Joe, although he didn't need another fabricator, he hired me on, and you know, I was there working in the fab shop with Brian Patty and a bunch of the other guys, just doing whatever those guys needed me to do. I mean, they had a full fab shop already, and you know, like I said earlier, they didn't need another guy, but Joe put me to work just to try to keep me going, basically.
Yeah, David, he's become a good friend of mine. You know, with the Reutimann name, around Florida growing up in racing, you know, they raced everything and they've been able to win at everything. So David, he's definitely got a lot of talent. You know, we gave him a break in the Busch car and got him some seat time, and man, he runs good.
The guys all knew I wanted to race full time, and as shop humor goes, most of the time, the guys would get on the loudspeaker on the intercom and say, you know, David, you know, Roger Penske's on line 1, you know, Richard Childress is on line 2. That stuff would go on at various points of the day, you know, every week, you know, and so I was home, just had finished dinner, and I got a phone call, and a guy on the other end said it's Darrell Waltrip, and I just thought the guys had moved the game from the shop to the house, so I about hung up on the guy, you know. I was like, you know, it's like, man, come on, it's Darrell Waltrip's not calling me at home. So the phone had the screen on the back up, and I flipped it over and looked at the back of it and noticed it was a number I didn't recognize, and last name was Waltrip, and I was like, wow. So I flipped back over and started talking, and DW said, I'm not bothering you, am I? Because I guess he heard me rattling around and stuttering and stuff, and I was like, no, you're not bothering me at all. And we talked for 30, 45 minutes, and basically asked me if I was interested in joining his truck team.
So we wanted somebody fast, and that was good, but what we didn't realize when we sat down and talked to David was what a great guy he was. Good Christian man, family, his dad, Buzzy. I knew Buzzy. I didn't know David all that well, but I knew Buzzy. And so he was, in my opinion, David Reutimann is probably more underrated than anybody in the garage area. I think he is an incredible talent.
You know, I mean, we haven't had, obviously, the kind of season that you'd want to have on the Cup side at all. But even at that rate, I mean, I still one of a very, very limited number of people who are able to race at basically what I feel like is the highest level racing that the United States has to offer, maybe even the world, you know, depending on who you talk to. So yeah, it's definitely a blessing. The Lord has blessed me in so many different ways throughout my career that this is just one more way that he's been looking out for me, taking care of me, and he's also surrounded me with phenomenal people.
When I saw David Reutimann and started paying attention, and actually I think the first time that I saw him was he was driving for Joe Nemechek in a Busch car, and I saw him that day and a couple of different times and said, you know, this kid knows how to go fast, and that's what you pay attention to a lot, is because if you get someone that can go fast, then you can usually help them to understand all the other things that it takes to run 200, 300, and 400-mile races.
It took me a lot of years to get to the point where I could finally get to where I needed to be, or start to be where I needed to be, and then from that point it seemed like it went really fast, but it was a really slow very, very slow. You know, a lot of years of I made, I think the best year I ever had in racing locally was $30,000, and I really thought I had done something very, very good that year. Most of the years it was between $18,000 and $20,000, and that's what I was living on. And you know, it was, so now then you go to a different situation where you make a little bit more money, and you a lot of obligations, and people want your time, and you know, I'm perfect example. I'm sitting here talking to you guys on camera. That didn't happen a whole lot at a local level. It didn't happen ever, you know, and so it's different, but it's the thing I've always been able to do as I've gone through this whole roller coaster ride of what they call racing is you know, just be able to roll with the changes and adapt to things that are thrown at you. Never get set in a certain way of doing things, because that's just not the way racing works.